So now let us get into the application point. Sir? So now let us see. Now let us see on the each application what are all the modules we are having. So we have discussed on the fusion applications. These are the different fusion applications: financial management, human capital management, PPM, procurement, supply chain management, GRC, and CRM. CRM is nothing but customer relationship management. GRC is nothing but governance, risk, and compliance. Now, let us get into the individual application. Let us take the financial management. In financial management, you're going to see GL, AP, FA, payments, ER, cash management, expense management. These are the different modules will be there under financial management. And if you go to the PPM, you're going to see project costing, project billing, project controls, project project reporting, and contracts, project management and resource management, and integration. Any third-party tool integrations, all those stuff will be there in PPM. So these are the different applications or module summary, and these are the different applications you are going to have. Now let us see on the differences, key differences between R12 to Fusion. So if you go to the differences, the basic differences between EBS to Fusion, the first one is product-specific setups requires login and logout for each of the products. In EBS, if you wanted to do the payable setup, you have to go to the payables responsibility. If you wanted to do the receivable setups, you have to go to the receivables responsibility. But in Fusion, it is not like that. All the setups will be under one roof. That is called a central place to enter all setups across the product, and that central place we call it as a functional setup manager. We call it as a FSM, functional setup manager. And no sequential listing of setup tasks. So in EBS, so the setups, whatever the setups are there, will not be listed in a sequential order. Whereas if you go to the Fusion, so all the setups will be listed in a sequential order. All the setups or whatever the setups will be generated by the system based on the scope of your project. So let's say when you're creating the, when you're doing the setups, the first point is you have to ensure or you have to decide what is the scope of your project. So when you select the scope of the project, so based on the scope, system will automatically generate a setup list. And that list will contain multiple setups that you need to execute to complete the implementation, and even all those setups will be placed in a sequential order. So that is what the auto-generated list of setup tasks with the dependencies identified. And once you generated the setups in EBS, so you cannot assign the setups or setup activities to a particular implementation consultant, and you cannot monitor the status of each of the activity, or you cannot set the due date. So all that stuff you have to do in a spreadsheet or in a management tool in EBS if you are doing the implementation as a project manager. But if you go to the Fusion Cloud, in Fusion Cloud at project level itself, you are going to track all the activities that you are creating, or all the setups can be assigned to individual implementation consultant, and you can set the due dates, and you can mark the status also, so that you can get, as a project manager, you can get the status report as on date, as any date. So you can get the status report, what are all the tasks that has got completed and what are all the tasks that are pending for the next week or next 2 weeks. Like that, you can get the reports. And no ability to set up, copy the setup data across the instances. So let's say we have a EBS development environment and production environment. In development environment, we have done some configuration, and that has been tested, and we are good. We have to move the setup data from development environment to production environment. So you have to do a manual setup even in production also, by looking into the, so manually punching the setup data in production also in EBS. Whereas in Fusion, it is not like that. So you can take all the setup data, or you can migrate whatever the approved setup data is there in Fusion development environment to production environment using the export and import functionality in Fusion. And limited reporting on setup data. So in EBS, on setups, if you want to have a report, there will be very limited report where you have to go to, wherein in Fusion, you are going to get a comprehensive report, very comprehensive report on all setup data. Each and every setups will be included in the report, and you can get all the data into that report, so that you can do a comparison with your MC50, whether the data that is as per MC50 is been configured or not. So that is kind of a reporting side on the setups. And in EBS, setup data that you have created at BU level cannot be shared, the same setup data, to another BU. The same setup data cannot be shared. The same setup data cannot be shared to another BU. Whereas in EBS, in Fusion, you can. Whereas in Fusion, you can, one second. Hey, sorry guys. Right. So let us proceed with the, on the setup data cannot be shared across the view. Let's say transaction types in ER. So let's say ER transaction types. So in EBS, the transaction type should be created at BU level. And the same transaction type, if I want to use for another BU, you cannot use the same transaction type. You have to create another transaction type with a different name in EBS. Whereas in Fusion Cloud, you can use the same transaction type for multiple BUs. That is called reference data sharing, reference data setups, or setups can be shared across the BUs. And in areas, the responsibility, the word responsibility has got changed to data role, and in areas, the word business group has changed to enterprise, and the operating unit word has got changed to business unit. So these are the different changes are there in Fusion Cloud compared to EBS. And one more thing I want to tell you. So why customers will look for Fusion Cloud? So the first thing I told you, the less cost involvement. So in maintenance cost will be less, and huge investments, capital investments are not required, and maintenance cost will be less. And the third thing is, if you want to expand your business, you need not to look at the servers or the capacity. So everything will be taken care by Oracle. So you are free to expand your business like anything. So accordingly, Oracle will increase your database, and everything infrastructure-wise issues, everything will be taken care by Oracle, and they have to maintain the infrastructure according to your expansion of your business. And not only that, anytime you take Fusion Cloud, anytime you will be on the upgraded version. But in on-premise or in any other EBS implementations, you will not be in the upgraded version. If you wanted to be in the upgraded version, you have to get the patch and you have to apply the patches, everything. But in Fusion Cloud, you will be on the upgraded version at any point of time. That is these are the key points that you have to look at for the customers who are taking for Fusion Cloud. So these are the things on the